Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today from wherever you are in the world. Today, I'll take you through some of the key findings from this year's APM Salary and Market Trends Survey, such as the average salary overall and how does pay vary between different roles and sectors. What proportion of people have seen a pay rise and how many companies are actively recruiting? All of the results from the survey do help to paint a picture of the employment landscape within the profession. So it's great to help you benchmark your role as well as those within your team and organisation. The latest trends identified in the report also help to uncover if there's been a bounce back since the COVID-19 pandemic, which is when we last did the salary survey in 2021. So I'll touch on that today. My name is Dayner Proudfoot, and I'm Head of Insights and Analytics at APM. If you do have any questions for me, then please type them in the comments section on LinkedIn. I can see we've got a number of people posting in the comment section already, and we've got people joining from all over the world. So Liverpool in the UK, South Africa, Dublin, Sheffield, Nigeria, sunny Manchester. So welcome to you all. So if you use that comments function to put your questions in, I'll try to tackle those at the end of the session, which will last about 15 minutes. And any questions that I don't get to cover, I'll also come back and post comments to them. So without further ado, let's dive straight in. So everything I'll go through today is taken from our Salary and Market Trends research report. The research was conducted by YouGov. So for all the results and the findings, do please head over to our website and download the full report at apm.org.uk/salary survey. There you'll find the average salary for project professionals has remained at 47,500, well above the UK average of 38,600. So is this a sign of stability? Which it would be, but with the cost of living crisis and high inflation, is it actually a reduction in real terms? So could more be done? The APM full members amongst us who have joined today will be pleased to hear that Mapham's earned 20,000 more than the average at 67,500. Of course, other factors may impact salary as well, but APM membership brings even more value than just simply enhancing people's earning potential. 81% of project professionals are satisfied in their role, and 59% said that organisations are looking to recruit more staff. Over half of respondents feel the project profession is inclusive, but clearly more can be done, as 42% say mentoring is the best way to improve diversity and inclusivity. But at the heart of all the findings, as you can imagine, is insight on salaries. But as you all know, financial reward is just one of the many benefits of a career in project management, but it is, of course, important. So let's go and take a look in a bit more detail. Despite the challenges facing the profession, average salaries for the more popular roles have either risen or remained the same. So for project manager, salary has increased from 42,500 last time we did it to 47,500, which is the same as the overall average. While consultants have also seen their salaries go up from 57,500 to 62,500. Project coordinators and senior project managers have also enjoyed an increase of 18% and 9% respectively. Jobs in project management are still dominated by men. However, when we started to look at the detail of gender within certain jobs, an encouraging picture did start to emerge. Traditionally, senior positions such as consultant and project director tend to be held by men, but this year the amount of women in those roles has been increasing. Almost a third of consultants and directors are now female, while the number of heads of projects and heads of programs and senior project managers that are female are also on the rise. This small shift towards equality in senior positions is matched by a similar increase in men holding more junior roles, such as program office support and project coordinator, while women still dominate the project administrator role, holding 79% of the positions. This shift does indicate positive signs of equality across the roles. So, looking at average salaries by sector shows us that energy and utilities remain at the top of the list, but it's now joined by financial services and life sciences, two areas that have seen significant investment over the past couple of years. Other sectors that have seen salary increases include aerospace, construction, defence, telecoms, IT, and transport and logistics, which rose by 11%. There were, however, a number of sectors that experienced a reduction in average salary, most notably business and professional services and retail, which both dropped by 20%. Clearly, the retail sector in particular was suffering with the challenges of the economy and the energy crisis. After the financial impact and the disruption caused by the pandemic, it's encouraging to see pay and benefits packages are on the rise. 65% reported an increase in their financial reward. This is a significant leap from the 46% that said they saw their pay packets increase in 2021, and a strong indication that the profession may be returning to pre-pandemic levels when we had 72% of respondents say that their pay had increased before the pandemic. This financial boost is translating into healthy optimism for what the next 12 months may hold, as two-thirds of respondents are expecting their pay to increase, with only 4% expecting it to decrease. This is in marked contrast to 2021, when 48% anticipated an increase in pay and 8% expected a decrease. So that optimism is most keenly felt in consultancy, with 79% of consultants expecting their pay to rise, followed by professionals in energy and utilities, construction, and defence. When we looked at the impact APM membership had on pay, we found that full members can command an average salary of 67,500, 42% above the profession's average of 47,500, while the average salary for fellows is 72,500. For those studying full or part time as a student member can earn an average of 27,500, and associate members earn on average 42,500. From other research we've done, we've found that 45% of APM members do feel that membership has had a positive impact on their salary, as did nearly half, 48% of chartered project professionals. As I mentioned before, there are many factors that do impact salary, but being a member of APM does bring with it professional recognition, access to knowledge and resources that can help with all areas of project management and professional development. Plus, APM membership can also act as a great differentiator when it comes to recruitment. Making sure project management continues to work on improving its levels of diversity and inclusion is key to ensuring it reflects a wider society. By bringing in new talent from all backgrounds helps develop a stronger profession, giving it a broad range of skills and voices. The results this year are encouraging, with a number of people from ethnic minorities and disabled people continuing to increase, with 20% of new recruits now made up of ethnic minorities. This compares favourably with the overall proportion of ethnic minorities in England and Wales of 18.3%. We also found that half of all respondents believe the profession is diverse, while 56% feel that it's inclusive. While this is obviously encouraging and testament to the work the industry is doing, there is always room for improvement. When we looked at the ways the profession could become more diverse and inclusive, mentoring remains the number one choice for ethnic minorities and disabled people, a fact that repeats the findings of the past two surveys. Other popular methods include unconscious bias training, providing more relatable role models, and revised employment policies. At APM, we regard improving levels of diversity and inclusion as one of the key challenges the profession faces. And along with this survey, we have a number of other resources available to help organisations improve their initiatives and policies around this area, which will be supported by an advisory group we're setting up, as diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, or DEIB, is a key part of our strategy. After a period of low organisational growth in 2021, caused by the pandemic, the profession is showing signs of bouncing back by increasing recruitment. The proportion of respondents companies looking to recruit additional staff is now at a 5-year high at 59%, with a corresponding fall in businesses making redundancies. But given the current economic climate, this optimism is testament to the strength and resilience of the project management industry and may be contributing to the 81% that said they're satisfied in their role, while 80% are optimistic about the future supply of jobs. However, while many sectors are looking to boost growth and recruit, such as construction, consultancy, and defence, there are some that are experiencing a downturn and making redundancies. In particular, the health sector, which reverses the levels of optimism we saw in the 2021 survey. When looking at growth by region, it's clear that companies in the Southwest and West Midlands are seeing above average levels of expansion, with 79% and 81% respectively growing their businesses. And remember, if you do have a question for me at the end of the presentation, then do post it in the comment section on LinkedIn. I can see a number of comments and questions coming in. I will try and answer as many of those as I can at the end of the session. There's an overwhelming optimism about the future supply of project management jobs over the next 5 years. 80% of respondents are either optimistic or very optimistic. Indeed, the percentage of those that are very optimistic has risen from 14% in 2021 to 23% this year, with a corresponding drop in those that are pessimistic, which is down from 16% to 12%. This reflects a general sense of positivity in the profession that seems to be most keenly felt by the young and those building their careers, with above average optimism within the 18 to 24 and 25 to 35-year-old, the 25 to 34-year-old age groups. A key challenge for companies in many industries around the world is the recruitment of skilled workers, and project management is no different. There's an overriding concern of respondents that their companies don't have enough skilled staff. 61% are worried that this shortage will result in projects not being delivered successfully. This concern, this concern is heightened when thinking about recruiting for future projects, with 67% of respondents showing concern and only 5% saying they aren't concerned at all. For both of these scenarios, there is a difference in response from male and female respondents. We saw that men appear to show more concern about their organisation's current project workforce than women, as well as its ability to recruit enough skilled workers in the future. While the volatility of the past 3 years has been difficult for businesses in all industries, the project profession has coped with the challenges of inflation, global supply chain issues, and energy price rises with what appears to be confidence and positivity. The profession understands that changes in technology and working practices require the prioritization of different skills, such as project leadership and people management, which the survey highlighted as important. However, communication is now top of the list of vital skills for the model project professional, reflecting the rise of remote working and the industry's changing culture. With more remote working, the ability to communicate quickly and clearly is an obvious requirement and something that the younger generation and women particularly value. With changes in technology and working practices, the project profession of the future will need to prioritize different skills to those required previously. So the demands of increasingly complex projects with new considerations and regulations will require project professionals to broaden their knowledge and abilities. This increase in required skills is seen in the results we conducted, where almost all areas increased in importance. Project leadership, stakeholder engagement, people management, and planning and monitoring all increased compared to 2021. While skills playing such an important role in shaping the profession going forward, and with the worry of a skill shortage, it's no surprise that it's one of the key concerns for project professionals. However, it's inflation that's keeping people awake at night, with two-thirds feeling that it's having a negative impact on their projects, followed by global supply chain issues. However, even with these concerns and the inevitable confidence dip seen in the previous survey carried out during the COVID pandemic, the amount of project professionals that feel the industry will be enhanced in the next 5 years has remained steady at 67%. This belief in the growth and development of the project management is a strong indication of the high levels of resilience and optimism within the profession and its people. It takes a lot of resilience for an industry to come through a global pandemic and remain optimistic and fulfilled, but project management is both resilient and strong, with good feeling about the future spreading through the profession. With two-thirds expecting their pay and benefits to rise and overwhelming optimism about the future supply of jobs, people seem to be full of confidence. So we can take heart from what the future may hold for project management. So thank you. Though that's sort of the main part of the presentation, going through the key findings. As I said, there is a lot more in the research report itself. So do please head over to our website. But thank you for joining me today. I'm now going to head over to the comments section and see if I can answer as many questions as you can. But it's great to see so many people joining today. I think we've got over 200 people joining today, which is really good. Um, so I've got a question from Edward about how much does someone who has passed the fundamentals exam and what role can realistically go for. So what I'll do, Edward, I've got, as you can imagine, a whole heap of data. So I'll find out the average salary for the person that's passed the fundamentals exam, and I'll post it in there. As you can imagine, along with membership, there's other things that can impact salary, but certainly having a APM qualification helps that and helps set you apart in the employment landscape as well, because it is APM qualifications are really respected by the profession and by those who employ project professionals. So it is good to have it on your CV. Obviously, the next step up from fundamentals would logically be the project management qualification as well. So that goes in a bit more depth for project professionals, but it does open the options for employment going forward. I have a question here about graduates of construction and project management, or what the job opportunities. Obviously, that's quite a big open question. However, a lot of the construction sector is well represented within the project profession, and project professionals who have taken APM qualifications and membership. Um, Construction is one of the heartlands of project manager, as you know. It's one of the largest sectors that has project professionals. So certainly, if you've graduated in project management and work in construction, you're probably lucky to have a number of job opportunities open to you. Let's scroll down. Someone's asked, oh, so they zoomed back up. Hassan has asked if you can get a copy of this PowerPoint presentation. It is recorded and it will be on LinkedIn, so you can come back to it any time. As I said, a lot of this is taken from the report. Well, all of it's taken in from the report. So if you download the report, you'll have this and other insights as well. Andrew Johnson has asked a question: how intensive is the mentoring provided by membership? Is it what you make it to be, or are you guided? I've done my APM PMQ, just wondering whether to sign up and get some guidance on next steps. Thank you for your question, Andrew. We'll make sure we get someone who's certainly far more up to speed on mentoring answer that question for you. So do bear with us on that one. Uh, Sai or Say, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. How do postgraduate students find job opportunities with the increase in recessions? So, APM, we have our own jobs board, APM Careers. So, if you go to the careers section on the website, apm.org.uk, and find your way to the careers section, it's the job and careers section at the top of our website. There you will find lots of helpful information about career paths and what skills you need, and a lot of support in terms of resources for you. But there's also a link to the APM Careers job board as well, so you can go and explore some of the opportunities there. So we've had a question from someone on LinkedIn. Is there a correlation that APM qualifications, designations being more preferred when making a hiring decision, likewise for retention? Unfortunately, I don't have any data or insights that I can point to. Um, Obviously, I work for APM, so I might be slightly biased in saying that it does really help. But what we are seeing is certainly our qualifications are very popular amongst employers. So they will look to our qualifications, also membership. But one of the other things that's becoming more prominent is chartered project professional, which is a designation. It's a standard. It's not a qualification. So a bit like engineers become chartered engineers or accountants become chartered accountants, project professionals can become chartered as well. It's an individual designation, and we're seeing that becoming more prevalent, and it's becoming even more credible within the project profession. So that is certainly something to consider going forward. Ranu Patel, I have more than 12 years experience in the web development field as well as products development. Last 8 years working as a project manager. Recently completed my Scrum Master's certification. Well done, Ranu. Congratulations on that. It's also good to see people contributing to the discussion as well. Paul Bradley, um, who has a question. Well, it's a comment, I think. He seems to be answering some of the comments. I think it largely depends on the organisation and methods and PM processes used. Certainly, APM is one of the more desirable qualifications in the UK market at the moment. So hopefully, matching what I've said already. Another question on LinkedIn: did employers/hiring managers disclose how they want to overcome the PM shortage? One thing is to be concerned, another is to solve it in that area. Yeah, skills shortage, or the shortage of skilled project professionals is a big thing, is a key area. This was a quantitative survey, so there's only so much information you can get from a quantitative survey. There is scope to have a wider discussion. Skills is a big area for APM, is a priority for us. So that's something we'll explore in more detail. But there's plenty of information on the APM website. We did a piece of research projecting the future a while ago, which covers this as well. So do take a look at that as well. But it's certainly going to be part of an ongoing debate and discussion. Which also reminds me, if you are on LinkedIn and Facebook or Twitter, using the hashtag APM salary survey, you can contribute to the discussion as well. So hopefully these facts, these findings, these results give people some ammunition, some food for thought, but we're also wanting the project community to contribute to discussion as well. Um, some people is clearly finding the presentation useful. That's great. Nick Jefford Horn hasn't been able to open the report yet, but does it separate out London versus the rest of the UK for salary? Yes, it does, Nick. There's a section on there by region. So you'll be able to see the average salary by region, but also by sector as well, because I covered that via sector, by gender, by age as well. So it goes into a bit more detail and pulling that out. Shane Pagden, thanks, Dana. Can you do the same for someone that has a PMQ certificate? Yes, what I'll probably do is just sort of pull out what I did for the membership. I'll do the same for APM qualifications, so you can see the results of that. As I said, obviously, um, salary is impacted by very many different ways, but it might help to give a bit of an indication. Is there a recognition? So ATI, Coco, hopefully I'll pronounce that correctly. Is there a recognition for people with MSc in project management in the qualification system, knowing that the master's program carries more research and time? Again, I'll get someone from the qualifications team to come back to you on that. We do have a recognised assessment process. We do take into consideration other qualifications as well, depending on which type of qualification you're going for. But that is recognised, especially if you were going to go for something like chartered project professional. As I said, there's a recognised assessment for that. So it takes into account knowledge and experience as well, and gives you different routes into it. Just having a scroll down. As in it, let's have a look. Seeing if we've got any more questions. Lots of people on here seem to be giving advice to each other, which is great. That's kind of what we want to see. Shalini Barwa has put a point across that she felt the market is slower than 6 months ago for project manager contractors. Has anyone felt this too? So if anyone's on the LinkedIn live session that can help contribute to that, please do. As Ade Simbo, having worked in construction a while ago, but recently did a training on project management and business analysis. Want to know what other training I need to do fully in construction in the UK. Well, quite interestingly, there's work being carried out in and around construction and the qualifications need for construction in the UK following on from the Grenfell Tower tragedy. So APM are part of a working group to look at into that, certainly around obviously the project management aspect of it. So we're collaborating with a number of other professional bodies who are doing the same. So that's certainly something to look out for if you're working in construction, the new safety standards. A lot of questions around sort of qualifications to have. Again, we'll try and come back to answer as many as those as possible and direct them. Paul Bradley is making great contributions here, so thank you, Paul. That's great. As I said, everyone, please do scroll through the comments. I'm sure there's probably people out there working in certain sectors that be able to help support each other on. Um, Rajpal, chartered project professional. How many years of experience would be required? Chartered project professional takes into account certainly your knowledge and experience. So do have a look, and if it's something that you feel is relevant to you, do have a look on the APM website, apm.org.uk. The Chartered Standard tab is on there, and it's for anyone who has a proven track record in delivering projects, who have up-to-date knowledge of the current practices and actively involved in the project profession. It does take into account your experience and your knowledge. That is a contributing factor. I don't think there's a sort of time-bound um, requirement on years, such as other things like full membership, 5 years, or I mean, there's other routes into membership as well. But we do have 3 routes into chartered, so that it will take into account your knowledge and experience. So do have a look at that. There's a lot of information on the APM website, which will no doubt give you a good starting point. Well, what I'll do is I'll keep going through the questions, and between me and my colleagues, I'm sure we can answer as many as we can, because there's lots of great questions on there, especially about career and project management. But hopefully that's given you a lot of useful insight into the salary and market trends survey. As I said, if you want the full report, please do go to our website, apm.org.uk/salary survey. You can download the full report there, but also use the hashtag APM salary survey to contribute to the discussion, because it's not just about just the stats and facts. It's also the nuances in between, which will be great to hear your opinions on it and contribute to the ongoing debate. But thank you once again for joining me this afternoon, wherever you are in the world. We can see from the comments that there's lots of people joining from all over the globe, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and thank you.